If you're like me, every morning your inbox, along with your YouTube, Substack, and other social media feeds, are bursting with fresh videos and articles about AI, and your brain just can't take it. If you try to hold on to this information, it will clog up your brain's RAM and you will incur learning debt. And learning debt is the new scourge of the AI age. Here's a process that will help you not only retain the useful bits of information that you pick up in your daily content, but actually turn it into code for your current vibe coding project. Think of this process as Pepto-Bismol for your AI content indigestion. It only takes and retains that which you can immediately apply to your life and your projects. So step number 1 is read with a question. My rule is if the video or article is longer than about 7 to 8 minutes of reading time, I watch it on 2x speed. Reading is much harder because you can't multitask, and which is precisely the reason I'm starting to narrate my Substack articles. It's my goal for you to be able to consume my content in a fast and easy way on the go. I always watch or read with this question in mind. How can this be relevant to what I'm building or creating right now? If the answer is, it won't really be relevant, then I know I'm consuming entertainment and I need to treat it as such. I'll just make peace with the fact that I'll learn something, but it will not be easily accessible, retrievable, or available to me if at any point in the future it becomes needed. And that's okay. AI is an all-you-can-eat buffet, and our brains, like our stomachs, have their limits. If the answer is, I wonder if I can use this in my current project, then proceed to step number 2 to start the digestion process. Here's an example. I follow Nate and his Substack and YouTube channels. He's one of those prolific AI experts who I actually learn a lot from because he's been in the tech trenches like me. He recently came out with this video and companion Substack article called 7 Prompting Strategies from Claude 4's System Prompt Leak. I'll link to it below. The first thing I did was listen to the video at 2x the speed for about 4 to 5 minutes. This was enough to show me that Nate indeed had some gems that may be useful to my development of an app I was building. I am building my first RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation System. And his videos had some useful guidance for how to prompt LLM agents, which I knew I had to do in Flowise.ai, where I'm building my RAG system. Step number 2, feed the content to AI. If you've decided that you want to try to digest a piece of AI content, then the next step is to extract its nutrients into a guide or a summary, courtesy of AI, of course. In the case of Nate's video, I navigated to the part of the video on YouTube where you can show transcript. Then I copied that transcript as text and pasted it into a fresh Google Doc. Then I downloaded that Google Doc as a text file and attached it to the following prompt in my favorite reasoning LLM. In my case, it's Gemini 2.5 Pro at the time of this recording via Perplexity. So I said, please take this YouTube video transcript and provide a best practices guide to prompting with examples for someone developing an AI app and accessing LLMs through APIs. The best practices guide should contain the principles for prompting with examples on how to implement them in an API interface and specifically to how LLMs are orchestrated from a platform like Flowise.ai. And you know what? The output was pretty good. It was a comprehensive 10-page guide to prompting with examples, principles, and even JSON files. I'll make the full resulting guide available for paid Substack subscribers. By the way, if you subscribe to the paid version of Substack, you'll automatically get invited into our Vibe Builders Collective, which is an active Slack group where we learn vibe coding by building real apps. So check out the link to the Substack below. Step number 3, get AI to help you update your app's PRD. Now, as a former product manager and current active vibe builder, I always generate a comprehensive PRD, which stands for Product Requirements Document. And that is critical for keeping my vibe coding in control and actually lets me build production-ready applications. I describe how to generate a PRD for the app you're building with AI in an earlier Substack article. In this final step of our AI content Pepto-Bismol, you will feed the guide document that you generated in the prior step, along with your project's PRD and any other context on your project. You'll feed that to your favorite reasoning model with a prompt that goes like this. Please take the attached guide called Claude System Prompt, Best Practices for Prompting LLMs in Flowise, and recommend ways to strengthen my LLM configurations in Flowise.ai so that they can perform better and more predictably. Do not redo the implementation instructions for Flowise just yet. First, give me, number one, your assessment of whether it makes sense to apply any of the configurations to my LLMs and workflows. Please consider the costs of added complexity and cost when considering expanding the LLM prompts. Number two, if you think it makes sense to use some of these approaches in my configurations, explain your reasoning. Number three, make a recommendation about which specific implementation instructions to change in any of the existing Flowise LLM or workflow instructions. Perplexity returned a very detailed response with a chart of recommendations for each of the 7 prompting techniques mentioned in Nate's video, and it said which ones could strengthen my own LLM prompts in Flowise. Now, I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm going to implement some of the recommendations, which I expect will make my Flowise system of LLM agents much better performing. Thanks, Nate. And thanks Perplexity for helping me digest and implement the video in less than 5 minutes.